My name is Catherine and I'm the Corporate Finance Manager at Wyevale Garden Centres. I was responsible for implementing the SAP BPC project here. Wyevale Garden Centres is the largest chain of garden centres in the UK, and we operate over 150 garden centres in England and Wales. Our main areas are obviously garden centres. We have F&B offerings and loads of concession partners as well. The main problem with our old budgeting software was that it was very manual because we did it all in Excel. Therefore, all the calculations were done either by a macro or by a person, and the macros were run just by one person, which meant we were very reliant on that one person. And the system also wasn't live. The calculations took so much time for us to do in Excel. We were so reliant just on numerous spreadsheets that we weren't actually sure which was necessarily the final spreadsheets, and therefore not always 100% confidence with the data that we had. During the process of deciding which provider to go with, we narrowed it down to SAP BPC and therefore went with Rinedata because they seemed very knowledgeable, and that's why we decided to go with them. The way they built our system meant that many of the templates which users used looked exactly the same as before, therefore they were unaware that we'd actually used a new budgeting system. To them it was business as usual, and therefore that was a really good point for us that we didn't have to retrain people during the budgeting process. Rinedata were on site pretty much 4 days a week at the start of the project, and very much face-to-face interaction. As the project went on, we obviously needed less face-to-face time to discuss issues and that, therefore they worked off-site, but that enabled us to get on with our day-to-day jobs as well. Even when the system had gone technically live, they were still there on hand when we came up with last-minute possible changes so that we could tweak things to tailor to our needs, which we hadn't possibly foreseen whilst we were designing the budget. The major benefit, well there's two actually, is the data integrity. We always knew that we could go to the system and pull out the latest budget, which is huge. And then secondly, just pure volume of data, as I mentioned earlier, being able to do the daily sales budgets for margin and sales by category, by centre. We could just run a package now rather than it relying on somebody doing a macro or manual calculations, and there's a lot of things that we have that rely on sales and therefore are a product of sales, and BPC enabled us to do all those calculations in the system rather than have to do them offline and possibly lead to errors along the way. I would say that Rinedata were really hands-on, very knowledgeable of the product, and very much wanted to see how they could help things for us and not necessarily just think about how they've done it before. Therefore it was very much orientated towards our business, and I would say they definitely went above and beyond in helping us achieve what we could in the time we had. SAP BPC really helped us here. BPC generally, I would say, has just meant that we have got a reliable system that's able to efficiently load and data, and we're able to review it and analyse whatever kind of piece or slice of data that we have regarding the budget. Going forwards, we are hoping that we'll have an integrated balance sheet and cash flow as well, and also that we'll use the BPC product in order to do rolling forecasts, which we don't currently do at the moment.